All right. I think I'm gonna have to do another video. I made some people mad. Imagine getting upset that I play the game that I want to play, the way I want to play it. Just gonna leave it there. All right. Some of the comments in my last video. Whew, there's some huge cope. Anyway, we're gonna be talking about the cameos because I get this. Some people come and go, well, "What would you do about this? How would you make an MK game?" And I could do I think I've done a video before. But now that we've gotten MK1, I don't think I've done a video since. What I would do entirely with a new MK game, right? So, you know, in that regard, I just want to focus on the cameos because I've said this so many times, the cameos are the most egregious option, right? They are the worst. They never should have been put into this game in the capacity that they have. It seems like they have done very, very little in terms of really sort of, you know, seeing what the long game would be with these sorts of systems. And that's the problem when you don't do like multiple betas and stuff like that. You did literally like one closed beta and only for people that pre-ordered or for special pets of Ed Boon and NRS, right? So there's very little feedback in regards to this system, okay? But I think a lot of people outside of the people that are just so defensive, you know, that if it's got MK Dragon on the side of the tin, got to defend it with my life, got to defend my little esports clowns that, you know, tell me every 2 days what the best main is and then what the best main is again and what the best main is again, right? This is a crap system. It's crap. It's crappily implemented. And I don't know if it can be salvaged. So the only way that it could be salvaged, and I've said this before, is that they make every cameo fighter playable, right? So eventually what happens is that we are essentially getting mirror in. Because now after the story has been done, I know exactly what they've done here. They've essentially created this multiverse type stupidity where this is why we can have another Scorpion or Sub-Zero, you know, on screen with like other characters, right? Or Kung Lao, because, oh, they're just from another universe, right? It's childish. Just like how people get excited about guest characters. We literally have people out there begging for like, you know, what's the dude? Ghostface from Scream. You know, like this is what Mortal Kombat has become. This very screen that you're looking at right now screams crappy mobile game. Look at the locked like circles that are on the screen. This never used to be so openly just lazy. Why are they there? They're there because it's like when you get a mobile game. You download it, you have access to a couple of characters, and then you can see everything else is locked, right? Now, if you took someone from back in the day and you brought them forward to now, you know, someone that used to play MK, they'd look at that and go, oh, we've got 4 extra unlockable characters. How do we get them in game? You can't. You can't get them because they're paid DLC, right? Which would be a whole other mind F for them to understand. What's DLC? Right? All started with the horse armor, bro. If anyone knows that, you're kind of old. Anyway, so the way I would fix cameos is kind of like the thumbnail. Straight in the bin. Right? It's all crap. This is a hodgepodge collection. I mean, none of this makes sense. Right? None of it makes sense. The main character roster makes sense because they all seem to be integral to the story. When you look at this, the Shujinko, like it's everything. It just feels like somebody just wrote an entire list at the office at NRS, and they said, "Oh, you know, pick your favorites or pick obscure characters or whatever, you know." And then they took that list and they go, "Right, here's our cameo list." I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. But it's crap. And the reason why it's crap is because it feels very disjointed, right? When you activate a cameo, you know, 99% of the players out there will only utilize one particular move out of each one of these cameos, maybe two. Maybe two, right? And the reason for that is very simple. Because this game, as I've mentioned so many times before, is built on these massively damaging, up in the air combos, and their goal is to find characters, use cameos that prevent your character from being able to escape the combo or getting down from being in the air. And because there is no counter measure to that outside of an actual combo breaker, which means that you can't enhance your moves because you're hanging onto your combo breaker, right? I had a really good comment from someone in one of my videos, shout out to who that is, said that this game feels like a 3v3 or a 2v2, right? You'd expect these kinds of high levels of damage when you've actually got a proper tag or triple tag system, right? But there isn't. Okay? I don't know who they were listening to. It must have been the esports clowns, because I can't think of anyone else that I've ever met that it literally sat there and said, you know what we need? We need to have an assist Mortal Kombat game. It doesn't feel right. It feels alien because it looks stupid. Because there are certain characters that will never interact with other characters, right? In a friendly way. So on a lore perspective, that breaks the game. And then, as I said, look at this roster. It looks like a joke. Like somebody had a box with everyone's name in the MK roster and they just put their hands in randomly. And you know what? That's probably what they did. Because this is what you end up with. Shijinko? He's a great character from Deception. And then you stick him in this, and he's a bitch. This is, by the way, this is not the cameo roster. This is the bitch bench. Right? So, you'll have, say, Sub-Zero. Right? Might have two of his moves used. Right? He might, depending on who you're up against, they might put the armor on so you don't get hit by projectiles, which is useless anyway. You got the freeze where he comes out and freezes you, and he's usually combined with, Kenshi. This is what I mean, the main characters have their perfect and preferential cameo, right? And then you got the other cameos like Cyrax that gets replaced by something else that's cheap, which is Kung Lao's hat, right? So the entire cameo system is just balked. It's just a joke. Right? Because it feels clunky. I've had really good comments coming out saying that what they should have done is make it so that you take charge of the cameo. That would have been really interesting. That would be a new take on the assist system. So instead of you just pressing some buttons, they come out and do something and then piss off, you actually take charge of them. Right? And, maybe they fight in a classic capacity, meaning that they don't have combos, but their special moves are super powerful. They do a lot of damage, right? But you don't use them, or you can't link them with combos. That would have been great. That's a great idea. Right? But the reality is, though, you look at this roster, and then we're getting other obscure characters, right? Amongst the normal characters that we should have had on the main roster. Like Serena. Actually, you know what? All of them should have been on the main roster, because this should have been Armageddon 2.0. Now, I'm going to load up... Mortal Kombat 10. Because there's a Sonya assist... which is, I wanted to show you, it's one of her variations, right? Because it seems like, for the longest time, and this is the problem with Ed Boon, he has this gimmick thing. He's got in his bloody head that the only way to keep the game fresh is by having some new gimmick, right? And he doesn't realize that the gimmicks are actually breaking the game. So, with variations in MK10, and I didn't like it really either, because I don't like not having all of my special moves for a character. I want to have everything available. Okay? Just like we used to. Why is it that every other fighting game can do it, but in Mortal Kombat, oh, well, it's just how it is, bro. You just got to suck it up. No, I don't have to suck it up. Because we had more Mortal Kombat games with full freedom than we did now. NRS's gimmick, not really smart, is, we can't just make a sequel to MK9. We've got to make a sequel that, we're going to be clever. And we're going to make it so that they get to choose. And then it went worse with MK11 by actually literally choosing your special moves. But you couldn't have any special move, could you? Because some would conflict with others. And that's because either they shared the same button combination, or the fact it probably would have completely broken the game if they did that. But I'll give it to MK11. And MK10 and MK9 and previous MK games, up until that point, that they actually had systems in place for defensive measures, right? And we don't have that, right? We don't have that at all. So let me just connect up with MK10. There we go. And I'll show you, because I don't know if anyone else has it, but I know Sonya has it, right? I hated this variation crap. I know they had core special moves, right? But I didn't want like core special moves. I wanted, all their special moves to be core and none of the other crap. So this assist thing is, and now the reason why I mentioned this particular one, because this is what Ed Boon's talked about. He's done interviews where he's like, we thought about, Sonya or someone having like a drone, right? Like this. And, but that wouldn't fit being on Scorpion. You don't put the drone on Scorpion. What you do is you make it so that when you press down and like X to bring out the drone, that's the standard move for every single character to bring out some assist-like device or entity, if you will, right? So that way, it doesn't stay forever. There's a cooldown on it, right? But they're also not very powerful. So you can see here with Sonya's one, it might shoot, stuff like that, knock them out of the way. It's not very big. Look at the little amount of damage it does, right? Then you might have a couple of small, ones that do a little bit of damage like that, right? There we go. So that's two. So that's not too bad damage, right? But then it's gone, right? And I can't get it back immediately either. Like it's gone away. The assist system should have been this. It would have been the perfect take for a Mortal Kombat game. It would have made perfect sense. Okay? Every single character would have been really unique. There's Blanche, here you go on Blanche, right? Every single character would have been unique. Because what it means is that when you pull out, the assist move, so for example, going back, so we'll pull out Scorpion. Because I actually liked how Scorpion was in this, so I thought it was pretty cool. Right? What you do is you make it so that Scorpion summons some demon from the Netherrealm, right? And it's got 4 attacks. Okay. And those 4 attacks, so because with Scorpion, right, you can do he's got this grab thing, so he's got his demon there, right? He's got a one that hits from the back, he's got that one that comes down from there, right? That's what we should have had. Right? And then of course you can enhance them. So it might hang on longer or whatever. But the demon thing should have come out. So it might have scurried out and sort of fought beside him. It might have been like a flying imp, that sort of hovers behind him or in front of him, that might spit a fireball or whatever. And then eventually disappears. Sub-Zero could have had something similar, some sort of ice elemental or whatever, where he can summon maybe, because usually it seems like with Subby, you get he sometimes can form different weapons, from ice. So maybe he's got some sort of entity where, when he activates it, he reaches up, he grabs out of a floating ice ball, pulls out a sword and does a big slash. Or another one could be he reaches up and it transforms into a spear and he throws it, right? Or another one where it might turn into a big axe and he does a big uppercut, right? That would have been brilliant. And that'd be wonderful, because what you're doing is you're leaning into aspects of the character, you're locking their assist move to the character and the character's lore, so it makes sense that they would sort of lean into like the powers that they've already got, right? And it would have been very minimal, but enough. Like just enough to be a little bit of annoyance for the player, right? So, you know, you grab them, you know, and then you do a harpoon to grab them out of it, you know, all that sort of stuff, right? That's what I'd do. That's what I would do with like this sort of system. Because what they've done is they've taken what they did in the towers with MK11, right? And it actually was better then because you didn't have air combos, right? Air combos, I think, is breaking the game. By the way, how good does this game still look? Looks pretty good, huh? Right, considering. So, this is what I mean, right? This is what I mean. That the cameo system, I don't think was very well thought out, right? You got certain moves that aren't, you never see them used online. Like ever, right? I think I might have seen like Darius's, like one of his other moves once, but he's only ever used in his spin, and he's always like tied up with Reiko, right? With Scorpion, you might see his overhead, you know, if somebody's being pinned down by a combo and they're crouching, so they bring in the overhead, okay? But it's so like what you're doing too is you're trying to you're taking a game series that is supposed to be one-on-one. It doesn't make any sense that you would have just some random character there to fight you. Like this has always been a one-on-one type of interaction, right? So you don't have that. So you have that, and it feels really alien. The cameos themselves feel really broken, and that's because they reset combos, allows you to do these massive, gigantic juggles, or air combos, or pin people in a combo, you know, that you can't escape from because, you know, you don't have any sort of, you don't have a passive regeneration of your energy bars as well, right? It does for the cameo, but it doesn't for your actual energy bars, which means that, you know, while you might have your cameo there, if you're not attacking, right, so if you play more defense, your bar just doesn't fill up. Now, we had it fill up in MK11, which is probably the reason why all the esports clowns hated it, because they actually had to have checks and balances when it came to their combat. This is a fighting game. It's supposed to be fun, right? We're not supposed to appease a tiny percentage of the fighting game community who can literally drop that game and go to something else when they've had their fill of it, right? This is why you don't appease a minority, right? Because the minority is simply that, right? I'm not saying you're disrespectful, but what I'm saying is though is that the core audience, that what you're after, who you're trying to get money out of, that's who you need to appease, because you're in the business of making a product to make money, not sell a message or any of this sort of stuff. This is how you're supposed to make your money. Okay? So the assist system should have been something like that. You go back to, I don't know, like, what's another character that you could choose? This could be a hard one. This could be a hard one to do, right? Maybe Katana. Look at that face, man. Jeez, like, only a mother would love that, right? So Katana, what could you do? She's all about her fans. She's all about, like, all that sort of jazz. I don't know. She might, I don't know. So this is where it gets interesting. Like, this is where, and it gets interesting because it's challenging. And once you figure it out, once you figure out what you could do with a character, that's when you go, yep, got it. This is awesome, right? It could be something in related to her fans. Maybe she brings in additional fans or something like that. But what you don't, and this is the really important part, just to finalize, because now it's getting up to like almost 20 minutes. The important thing about the assist system is that you never sit there and go, I'd want that as a special move. You don't want it as a special move. You just want it as like, you know, and that's it. And you don't, it's not something that you sit there and go, man, I really wish this character had that special move, right? Or worse, I really wish that that assist was a playable character, right? So yeah, with Katana, just, you know, it could be something fan related, right? Because she's able to harness sort of like, you know, wind or fart or whatever, right? It could be something to do with that. Okay. Her assist thing could literally be like, you know, I don't know, like this is the cool part. Like you could create lore around, like, you know, why she's able to tap into this particular type of, like, you know, ethereal magic or whatever, and she's able to summon forth something or whatever, you know, and that allows her to then, you know, have an assist thing that she can pull in and do whatever. Like it might be something like that. Who knows? If you had Sindel, you know, she could have like the ghost of Jared, you know, and he does like a couple of cool like moves or whatever, like as an assist, right? So when you summon, say, the ghost of Jared in, when Sindel moves, she's kind of got like this like apparition of Jared kind of behind, like trails, you know, forward and back with her, right? And then you can activate and he might do some like, you know, epic move depending on which direction you press, you know. But what they've tried to do is they've tried to make it so that characters that normally do not have moves that stun or freeze can tap into that in a cameo system, but it's not working. What you've done is you've created this completely broken system. Most people don't like it, so you can come on my channel and bitch and moan all you like. You go read the comments. You go read the comments in Steam forums or other forums and stuff like that. People hate this system. It's crap. It feels like a gimmick, because it is a gimmick. It feels like some mobile game type rubbish. And hopefully in the next game, they do away with it. But I don't think it's fixable because they've committed to it. And I don't think they are going to just suddenly like change the game right now. The only thing that they could make a difference with this whole fiasco is by adding in proper defensive measures for people to be able to, you know, fight properly and feel like they've actually got a winning chance against somebody doing a standard meterless 500 damage combo. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.